Hello, welcome. I'm your host, Elizibar. This is going to be probably a really quick review of She, Return of the Warrior. Uh, I got done reading this, and it's just kind of like, this is so good, I'm not really sure what to say about it. This is like the Indiegogo exclusive cover. I like this one the best. I thought it just looks pretty stunning. There's like a million covers. There's a little cover gallery actually at the back of the book with some of the alternatives. So if you have the book, you can check that out. But I really liked what I got here. Looks pretty cool. And honestly, like when I got done reading this, it's kind of like that time I read the first issue of She that I remember reading because I think I might have seen some of this stuff back, in the '90s when it was new and all that stuff. But earlier in the '90s, I was like a Marvel head. Later in the '90s, I couldn't afford comic books, so I would look at the books like in the store, when shopkeepers kind of gave me the side eye, and then I couldn't afford to buy them, so I wouldn't. That's what happens when you got no money, man. You got to make do with what you got. So the first time I read an issue of She, it was great. It wasn't like I was reading a comic book. It was like I was reading a piece of art. There was a page in there. I think I got a review of this up on YouTube somewhere, or maybe I just talked about it like on a stream or something. But it was like we transitioned from like this great comic book storytelling to like a two-page spread that looked like traditional Japanese like wall scroll art type stuff. Stunning, absolutely stunning. And this book is just fantastic. It hits lots of those same kind of notes. Like we start off here, the very beginning of the book, with a dream sequence flashback thing. Okay, and like it should be obvious like what's going on. She's putting on something special for her man, right? And look at the vulnerability on her face right here. She doesn't really want to be doing it. This is not exactly what she's like hoping for, but she's doing it, to make him happy. And you can see the vulnerability in her eyes. That is really hard to render, by the way, in a not comical way, making somebody look vulnerable. But it's there. It's in her eyes. There's a little bit of nervousness, some vulnerability, and at the end, it goes great up until the moment when it doesn't, and what was a beautiful dream sequence turns into a nightmare escape. That's pretty abrupt. Look at the dismay on her face in the top left. Look at her anger down here. Like those emotions all come through, every single one of them, and they're not. I gotta be careful with my word choice because I was about to say they're not subtle, but the first one I showed you was. But here they just come across, and it's just like, look, we're in a nightmare sequence. Things are punched up, and everything is punched up. From there, we get introduced to her daily life, her daughter, Hotaru, Gramps, and they go about living their life. She's got a job. She goes to do the job, and when she gets there, well, that's a heck of a thing. And I think I've showed you. I can maybe show you one more page. So let me try to find like a sequence with just a little bit of action to it. Hmm. Oh, hey, this is pretty good. So this is a psychiatrist. He's describing like how he was attacked and stuff. And just check it out. There are no panels here. His story just flows freely. It draws the eye to where it's supposed to be without a grid, without anything to guide it. We're just here to get like the impression of what happened. His desk gets wrecked. He gets wrecked. His papers get wrecked. His digital archive gets stolen. And then he gets wrecked some more. You intuitively know how to read that, even without panels. Your eye goes from place to place. And the ultimate sequence of I'm reading this, then this, then this, then this doesn't really matter there. That page is just there to like give you the impression of the story he's telling you, not to just be like, this is his story, these are the words, this is the sequence of events. It's like, look, man, I got mugged, I got robbed, my office was turned, you know, boom, done. Great stuff. This whole book was great. I'm trying to avoid like describing the plot line, but she has to come out of retirement to face an old enemy. Boom, done. I think that's about all I need to say. Like, we're not going to go into more details. It's got some action. It's got some drama. There's some suspense. There's elements of like police drama in it. There's elements of like kung fu movie type stuff. It's mixing a lot of genres together into this big, delicious like stew pot of joy. And as you read it, you get to experience that. And then at the very like as you approach the end of the book, he drops in just a little bit of like M. Night Shyamalan with the twist, and it worked. The twist felt right. It felt natural, which is how a twist should feel. The twist really shouldn't shock you. It shouldn't be like a complete blindside. The sign should have been there from the beginning. And honestly, some of those signs were there from the beginning. So when it happened, I was like, yeah, okay, I see it. I dig it. At the end of the day, all I can say is this is a pretty brilliant comic book. I don't know if I would say like it's the best comic book I've ever read, but it certainly lives up to the couple of related books from the past that I own that I've read, and that's that's a tremendous legacy. That is not easy. Living up to things that people go, boy, that's great, and you turn out another book, another product that is great to live up to it, especially after so many years. It's tremendous work, Mr. Billy Tucci. Tremendous work. I dug it. I really did. There's another campaign going on right now, and I'm going to go take a look at it. I might not back it till like the last second, just in case they add like new covers or there's like I don't know if there's a Kickstarter and an Indiegogo. I know it's on at least one of those. So I got to go check all that out and get in on the next one. My only actual complaint about the book is that it's square bound instead of being floppy, because there was some sequence in here that went across the pages, and now I can't find it to show it to you. But somewhere in this book, oh, actually, it was this right here that I already have showed you. Like, this goes across the pages, and it just doesn't work. It doesn't feel right with the page bend like it is, whereas in a floppy comic, you wouldn't have that problem because it would literally lay flat. And that's it, man. Great book. Absolutely fantastic. I don't know if you can call any book made by Billy Tucci truly indie, because Billy Tucci is such a big, familiar name in the industry. Like, I think everybody likes Billy Tucci. They should. His art is tremendous. I think I've used tremendous like 3 times in this review, which is probably time to say, hey, I'm going. I'm getting out of here. If you haven't checked this out, I don't know if you can somehow get your hands on it still. Might be worth going to his website and seeing, but it is definitely worth the read if you can get a hold of it. Take care of yourself. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.